Hello, it's Mark Attwood here. The Mark Attwood Show, adventures in a coffee suit, cosmic suit. That's it. I've had too much coffee this morning. Funnily enough, this morning, everything's about synchronicities are off the charts, right? So this morning I was having a chat with a friend in a particular spot, and we started talking about ley lines and stuff. And then 2 minutes later, I got an email from Rachel Vaughan saying, "Hey, I've got some ley line stuff to show you here because we are due to do. In fact, we're doing it now. A show about ley lines." And I just thought that was amusing. And just for those of you that missed the first interview that I did with Rachel, it's on the YouTube channel. It's called Satanic Survivor on Defeating Demons and Seeing Ley Lines. And during that chat, oh, look, that's interesting. Look, Wikipedia, Satanic Panic. The Satanic Panic is a moral panic consists of over 12,000 unsubstantiated claims of satanic ritual abuse, sometimes known as ritual abuse, because they don't want it to be satanic, starting in North America in the 1980s, spreading throughout many parts of the world by the late 1990s and persisting today. If there's one reason why you should never give Wikipedia a single penny of your money, there it is right there. Okay. Anyway, Rachel is back to join me to dig deeper into ley lines and very possibly sharing some interesting information about the recent purchase that myself and Gary, with the assistance of the amazing subscribers to this channel, made of FryBrook House. But let's stop waffling and get Rachel on. How you doing, Rachel?
Hey, Mark. Good to see you. Got to laugh, don't you? 12,000 accounts of satanic ritual abuse. 12,000. They actually wrote that. So, yeah, there's a lot of people saying they've been abused.
Oh, it's a lot more than 12,000 though, isn't it?
A lot more than that, but it just makes me laugh because every single video I do, every interview that comes up, they love me.
Well, it seems like I have a Wikipedia explanation of my content under every YouTube video, which I think's, I don't know if it's showing up Wikipedia for the propaganda that it is. But, as usual, Wikipedia is, for those watching, Wikipedia is the same as CNN and BBC and everything else. They, if you watch a half-hour news segment on the BBC, 80% of it has to be true, because otherwise you would never watch it, because if it was all bullshit, you wouldn't watch it. But then they mix the lies in there subtly, so you don't even know it, and it's going into your subconscious, so it becomes a belief, and therefore you start going rah, 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 online or with other people who don't want to listen to what you have to say because they've been programmed, and that's what Wikipedia is doing. So I take it as a confirmation that we're telling the truth when you see that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, firstly, how are you?
I'm pretty good. It's cold here, as I said, very cold. I'm covered in blankets.
Australia, you see, for me, Australia is it's neighbours, and it's love it or list it, and it's what's the other one? Home and away, and it's all sunny, always sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not actually, is it?
That's probably the east coast. It's more tropical. I'm in South Australia, and it's very close to Antarctic. It's very close to the coldness.
Okay, so you have seasons. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but how have you been since we last spoke? Because we were supposed to do this a few times, but we couldn't get it together. So it's great to have you back, and you're very welcome. What are we going to talk about today, Rachel?
Well, I'm actually really glad that it happened this way, because I got to have a look at FryBrook House and have a little look around at the ley lines and the nature spirits that you've got there. So it's all perfectly timed. So I've been good, been very busy. Started teaching one of my courses again this morning. Had some fun with tech. Oh, the joy! Mercury retrograde. It's been very interesting.
Tech is always a great deal of fun. I do love. I've actually got pains in my shoulders because of all the stuff I'm doing on the computer. Anyway, enough about me. Let's dive in. What we're going to learn today?
Well, we're going to learn about the difference between earth energy lines and ley lines, how the fact that they're visible, we can see them. This is proven by the fact that every church in the UK, back when they started putting them on the Roman pagan ritual sites and using the Roman pagan ritual stones as the cornerstone of the church, they would use a sighting rod to sight a ley line, to orient the church into a ley line. So Freemasons know that they're visible. I'm going to be showing the evidence that they are visible and teaching people how to see them.
Let's dive in. Should we get the PowerPoint
Awesome.
up?
Yeah. Beautiful.
If you're watching this, pause it, go make a cup of tea, sit down, take notes. Okay, here we are. Far away.
All right. Okay. So, I mean, this is just one of the, a very pertinent image. in the right lighting, the right sort of situation, you can see humanoid apparitions just about anywhere. And in my opinion, this is not pareidolia. I get very annoyed with things like, pareidolia. Psychology sort of comes in and takes all the magic out of the world.
Sorry, what did you say? Pareidolia?
Pareidolia, yeah.
Never heard of that. What is it?
Really? Okay. Well, so that's supposedly we see humanoid apparitions, and it's some sort of nebulous stimuli. It's not real. It's just that's what we're geared to do and see. The problem with that is every original culture in the world is polytheistic and believes in many different gods, many different deities, fairies. Look at the Fae, elementals, all of those beautiful things that we interact with every day. Our spirit guides, all of those things want to connect with us. And what do they do to get our attention? They'll use humanoid apparitions because that's what we like to see. We connect with people. That's what they'll show us to get our attention.
And that's is that what the green man is?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I had a lovely, I've had some lovely experiences recently where the green man's been speaking to me, and I've squinted into the trees, and it's like, oh, you're everywhere.
Precisely. And the squinting, really important, Mark. So when you allow yourself to go into relaxed vision, you will see a ley line, you will see the nature spirits much more easily. We get this, we believe we have to focus on things. Walter Kilner, the father of Kirlian photography, taught us that if you use relaxed vision, you'll see a much wider range of the electromagnetic spectrum. And that's how you see magnetic frequencies.
I've been doing that since I was little.
Ah, that's really cool. Okay, there you go.
I'm
not surprised.
I intuitively knew it as a little boy. Yeah. That's why I was always happy around graveyards as a child.
Did you see a lot of, because graveyards mostly are in portal spaces, crossing points of ley lines. So where you get a whole bunch of ley lines crossing over one another, it's a portal. It's usually a big spherical space. And they will put graveyards, they'll put churches in those portal spaces. You'll get arenas where they have worship, loose harvesting devices, like famous people wandering around on stages that are usually in a ley line. It's fascinating stuff. Hospices, abattoirs, churches,
parks,
sonic halls, pubs. Absolutely. Pubs are full of entities.
Parks.
Oh, parks. Yes, they can have parks as well. Arenas, football fields, all of those things are usually in those crossing points of ley lines, and they mark them out to make them look like eyeballs or circles or oval shapes, whatever.
Yeah, I was showing somebody exactly that this morning. Anyway, carry on.
So if you want to go to the next slide.
Okay, I should be able to do that. Give me a sec. Here we go. Yeah, look at that.
So there's a lot of conjecture about whether or not ley lines actually exist. If you look them up, you'll get all this, stuff about it being pseudoscience and they're not real. And it's just bizarre because there's a whole science called geobiology, which is about ley lines. It's about magnetic frequencies and learning, all these different energy points. But a lot of science doesn't want to even look at it. So it's a little bit like psychology with pareidolia. They just want to take the magic out of what is, for a lot of original people, the basis of their belief systems. So they are real. You've obviously got all sorts of different kinds. You've got your Becker-Hagens grids. You've got your there's all Curry-Hartman grids. There's all sorts of different ones. So there's so many. I could go on forever, but they are real. So I just wanted to point that out. So if you want to go on to the next one.
Yeah.
So this is a really important article, National Library of Medicine. I found this after I started sharing the visibility of ley lines publicly, and this just made my day because basically I had scientific evidence to back up what I was saying. So humans can see magnetic frequencies. Ley lines are magnetic frequencies. In fact, they're spirals. So we have the same CRY2 cryptochrome, which is a magnetophotoreceptor in the eyes, in the retina, same as birds and insects, who we know use ley lines to navigate the earth. So my big thing is I want to teach as many people as possible to see the ley lines, because as our mutual friend Dale Holmes said to me once, when you take the hidden and you make it visible, and people know it's real, then they realize how significant it is. And I truly believe that the last fight is over the ley lines. Once people realize what they've been doing to them, controlling them, taking them from these beautiful serpentine earth energy lines that are like capillaries, it's the Earth's soul, basically. She works through all these meridians that are the earth energy lines. The Freemasons have come along and put them in straight alignments, stuck their piezoelectric structures on them, used spell casting to control everybody, everything here. And, you know, we see every other kind of control going on as well. But it started with the leys.
Well, there's a couple of things I want to bring up there for the viewers. If you're new to the channel and you've never seen the video I did with Gillian England in Derbyshire with the stone circle at Arbor Low, I think the video is called "The Most Powerful Stone Circle on Earth?" ? You should be, and then put Mark Attwood. You'll find it in YouTube. That is a stone circle at the intersection of 9 ley lines. And when I got in there, I got told telepathically, or however you describe it, to go outside of the circle. And then I found these blocks, and myself and Gillian unblocked them, and then magical stuff happened with the sun that day. You can go and watch that video. But also, you know, there's a lot of people around here that have told me independently about, and I'm only bringing this up and I might be jumping ahead, and that's fine if I am, just tell me off. But, you know, a lot of the windy roads all around the world, but particularly in Ireland, because there's a lot of windy old roads, and the UK, are the lines that the cattle trod following these energy lines. And when you get the likes of the M1 in the UK, which is just like almost a straight line, and then you get these new bypasses, what they're actually doing is shifting your energy onto those lines away from being, you know, harmonic with the earth, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. And you'll get a lot where you get crossing points on those freeways. That's where you get a lot of accidents as well.
Yeah, because it's all about disharmony.
When they want to put the lights in, so you're stuck in traffic, they'll be in a portal space so that you're expressing frustration in that space.
Because so they can harvest it.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah. Carry on.
All right. Next screen, please, Mark.
There we go.
All right.
Bees, my favorite.
Bees are amazing. Bees are attracted to negatively affecting ley lines, and they use their frequency to actually balance and heal.
So this is why they've been killing the bees.
100%. It's a big part of it. So, you know, the way we win this war is to go and express love and joy in ley lines, in earth energy lines. And what you're saying before about those meandering paths, the trees and plants, I think it's actually out of reverence for the earth and her energy lines. They don't like to grow within the leys. So you get these natural paths. So anywhere you go out in nature that, you know, someone hasn't paved it and just, you know, gone through and bulldozed the trees, those natural paths are the earth energy lines. And you'll just see these beautiful circles after circle after circle in these lines, because it's a spiral. And it just works through nature, and the trees and plants just avoid it. So you get a lot of different birds and animals that try very hard to help clean, balance, keep the frequency healthy. Unfortunately, a lot of, you know, secret societies try and do the opposite. There's a gentleman called Robin Baker who's done a lot of work on proving that we can see magnetic frequencies, magnetic lines, and he's just been hammered, absolutely hammered, by, you know, the infantile materialists, as I call them, and I'm not really fond of academics, that there's a stark contrast, he says, between the positive results of his replicable studies and the negative interpretations. And it's because they just don't want us to know how important the ley lines are.
Well, I'm picking something up on this screen. Ley lines and Orion's harvesters. Why am I picking that up? Why am I picking that up, Rachel?
I can't remember what now. I didn't grab it for that particular headline. It's really interesting. I grabbed it for the top one, which says we finally know how birds can see Earth's magnetic field. So it was just a whole series. So it must have been meant to come in.
Yeah. So
what's it bringing up for you?
Well, I've been told numerous times that I was involved in the Orion Wars, and yeah. So for those if you're watching this and you never heard of Orion and you don't understand the importance of Orion to what's going on Earth at the moment, go and look up the orionlines.com. Roy Shin Malone. Anyway, let's move along.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to do that. Okay. All right. So if you go to the next screen. All right. So a lot of people would consider Alfred Watkins to be the grandfather of ley line law, and he actually saw them glowing across the countryside. He could see them, but he didn't actually write about that in his book, and that came out afterwards. But he wrote a book about, you know, how there are all of these different alignments. Fantastic book, The Old Straight Track. From that, I learnt that where they put these piezoelectric structures, buildings made of quartz-laden stones, for instance, they put them in specific points, and then they build lots and lots of these buildings along these earth energy lines, and they straighten them out for control. They actually force the frequency, the spiral, in the opposite direction to what it's meant to go in. The one way to know that this is going on, where that little red dot is on that map, is a cathedral called St. Peter's Cathedral, and this is in Adelaide, where I grew up. Across from that is a line on the ground that's actually called the Ataturk Monument, and that is one of the most powerful alignments in Adelaide. A lot of the alignments that are controlled in Adelaide reverberate out from St. Peter's Cathedral. That one that goes along that Ataturk Monument goes straight to St. Albans, the main Masonic Lodge, the biggest Masonic Lodge in Adelaide, on North Terrace, and it's actually dedicated to St. Albans. There's a St. Albans lighthouse on Kangaroo Island, and a friend of mine just sent me the video recently, because I know my house that I grew up in, where I saw a lot of atrocities, and we've talked about that previously, is actually in one of these alignments. I didn't realise until I did the research, which explains why my house was so haunted. It had a lot of horrific things happening there, and I think my father knew that. I think he might have taught me some of this stuff when I was a kid, but I don't remember yet what he was teaching me. I just know I have an absolute fascination with this. So if you'd like to go on to the next screen. So if you want to, anybody can go out and find the straight alignments in their country, in their towns, in their cities, by looking for the most ornate church or Masonic lodge and looking for all the other buildings around it, courthouses, parliament houses, arenas, schools, cemeteries, where you've got these obelisks, statues, all sorts of things, anything named after a Freemason. You'll find them all usually are on these straight alignments. It's fascinating. It's just fun. It's just fun to do it, because while you're doing it, you're thinking, I'm actually undoing their spell, which is part of the reason why I share this quite a bit. It's undoing their spells. When we know what's going on, it unravels everything. Yeah.
I've been saying this for a very long time. Yeah, it's like, this has come up so much this week. I've been saying to people for years now, just by being here, you're undoing their spells.
Exactly. Holding a high frequency.
Just by being in a strange location that you did. I remember being on tour in America, and I stood in front of everybody and I said, "Does anybody here living in places that they would never have chosen to live in?" And there was like loads of hands up, and I said, yeah, because it's like me being in this town. I had no choice.
Yeah.
Okay, next slide.
Next slide. So these are the main alignments in Adelaide. So at the top, where the peak of those triangle, that pyramid is that St. Peter's Cathedral that I showed before. That's on the top left, the picture of it. And those alignments go out to churches they go past a particular square in Adelaide called Victoria Square, which just happens to be shaped like an Illuminati reptilian eye. And I'm not joking. I'll show that closer in a moment. I did a dig on this, and I've put it up on my BitChute and Rumble channels, and it's basically an explanation of how to do this in your city and town, wherever you are, to work out where these alignments are. Once you know where they are, you can go out and spend time in those spaces with energetic protection and change it with your intent. We just need more people doing it, that's all. And again, you don't just do it without energetic protection. But it's just uncanny. Adelaide was created by the streetscape was created by a guy called Colonel William Light. So William being the will of I am, the will of God, Light being the light bearer. So he was an embodiment of Lucifer for the Adelaide fraternity, the aristocracy. Adelaide means of noble birth. So if you want to go to the next screen.
And I was going to say, this is all over the world. If you look at Washington, D.C., one of the most famous ones is Washington, D.C. actually makes the shape of Moloch in the shape of an owl. If you want to look into the Masonic basis of Dublin, for example, is a pentagram. Excuse me. If you look at Marrakesh in Morocco is built on a shape that looks like Metatron's cube, which is interesting. And there's loads wherever you are. You can find these things if you do enough research.
So this again, so there's on the top left, you can see the actual base of the pyramid, which is the sort of central Adelaide. All those lines have a road along them, except for the top one. So it's all pretty much exactly mapped out with roads. The middle picture is actually the capstone. And in the center where it's purple is Victoria Square, which is this reptilian-shaped eye. Now, they've given the excuse for shaping it that way, that it's supposedly based around Indigenous lore of a rainbow serpent. It's actually got a granite anomaly beneath it. And they don't know where this granite anomaly came from. It's a huge granite stone. They think it's a stone. They're not really sure. It doesn't make any sense for any of the other topography in the area. It's completely flat in this area. It's massive, massive granite thing underground underneath that square. So that's where...
Have they dug it up, or have they found it with technology?
I think they've found it with technology. I only just recently learned of this. A video came out within the last 6 weeks.
So is it right to assume that most of these places will have something like that underneath, which is used to store the loosh?
Yeah, because granite's full of quartz.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's because there's giant crystals under the earth all over the place, and they literally store the loosh. Do you have any insights into how that is accessed and where it's being, because is it interdimensional, or are there underground beings, and where do the reptilians fit into this?
Well, I mean, as I told you before, I went public on the 22nd of June, first time I've ever spoken about it publicly, about the 2 reptilians that I saw in the hidden cellar beneath my childhood home, which I just told you is on one of these straight, really powerful alignments. My father introduced me to them. He was an ASIO operative. So for those who don't know, in Australia, that's the Secret Services operative. He was nonplussed about introducing them to me. They were showing me how to use a light box. I've explained that in some other interviews as well. I think it was some sort of IQ test. I never saw them again. I don't have any other memory. I was about 3 years old. They were my size. I don't know if they were juveniles. They were very intelligent. And what drove me crazy, and this is why I spoke about it publicly, this Disclosure Day movie, she's supposedly, communicating in the grey language. These weren't greys, these were reptilian. But they were clicking to me as a 3-year-old. I'd already had MK Ultra training in telepathy. So they were clicking and I was receiving thought forms. So when that Disclosure Day movie came out, I was really frustrated. And I had the same experience when Stranger Things came out. There were scenes in that were taken from my life. I know many other people who went through the same sort of childhood who all felt that it was about their lives. They have a specific playbook that they do with people, that they train people up, with MK Ultra. And then they bring these movies or these series out to make us look crazy if we dare to say, actually, that happened to me. Oh, you just saw it in a movie. Oh, she's crazy. She just saw it in a movie. It's infuriating.
Is there another side to that where they put these things in the films and the TV shows to tell us, as part of disclosure?
Well, I mean, I was able to publish, artworks that I did that are very similar to the Demogorgon, and I made those when I was 17. I was very young. So, and this is a long time ago. I'm 52 now. So, yes, I do believe there's disclosure, but it's also when you're coming from the perspective of being maligned and harassed and, treated like a crazy person by trolls and things like that. I mean, I've got a lot of people who also believe me, and I adore them. They're beautiful. I'm very lucky that I have the following that I have. But, it doesn't matter even if it's just a handful of people who are naysayers. It hurts. It's hard to deal with that when you've been through so much trauma anyway. So it is a frustration, but it's also, I'm glad it's coming out. I mean, I've also said I do a prediction series, and I really do believe that the real stuff's coming out. They're going to show real stuff about aliens. They're not going to be able to pull off this blue beam thing. That's not going to happen. They're going to show the real stuff.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
I agree with you. I think that all this releases and everything is getting us prepared for the real stuff, and to get ahead of blue beam so that it couldn't possibly happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just got to say, I do appreciate your courage and fortitude in standing up for all this time and sharing this stuff, because that needs to be said. I can't. I've been through a lot in my life, but I can't imagine how difficult it is to stand up and talk about this stuff when you've had such close proximity. But Anyway, let's get back to the lesson.
Look, and look, there's beautiful things to live for too. Like, you know, I love being out in nature. I love be able to go out and take these photographs and share them with people. This is my joy, sharing this sort of information. Even this dark stuff about the way that the streetscape is controlled and has been mapped out and created, because it gives me joy to know that I'm undoing the spell casting.
Yeah, yeah, go on.
I shouldn't be vengeful, but I can't help it.
Well, you know, somebody said to me the other day, "You're quite angry." I said, "No, it's not anger; it's righteous indignation." There's a difference.
Yes, that's what it is.
There is a difference, and
yeah.
Just a bit of homework for you guys watching. Go and type into Google Images, new children's hospital, Dublin, Ireland, and look for an image of it from above, and it's in the shape of a reptilian eye.
Yeah,
and
I showed that this morning in my course, because it's just and their war memorial just nearby is shaped like a snake's head. Have you seen that?
Nearby to the Dublin hospital?
Yes.
No,
not very far away.
I'm not going to show it on screen now because we're in the middle of Rachel's slideshow, but it's a good. Write that down if you can. Go and look it up, and then
go and have a look. Irish War Memorial Gardens.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
All right, next screen. All right. So
there's a familiar face.
So just so people get a bit of an idea of what Adelaide is about, again, this is where I grew up in South Australia, Australia being the land of Oz. There's a suburb called Beaumont that my father was obsessed with. That head of Baphomet is the golf course in Glen Osmond. And just across from it is literally a road called Devil's Elbow. So they point all of this stuff out. They make it really obvious. And the idea of that is revelation of the method. If we're too stupid to notice, we're just cattle to the slaughter. So I like to point these things out.
I'm glad you do. That's so obvious.
It's quite uncanny, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's like one of my sons, every time we go out in the car and he sees there's a car brand, I think it's related to Seat in Spain, called Cupra. Have you seen that?
No.
So it's called the Cupra, and I think my son goes, "That is so obviously the Baphomet logo on the car." It's like,
oh, grief.
Yeah. So anyway, good thing there is I've got children that spot these things.
Yeah, well done. You've taught them well. All right, go on to the next one, please. All right, so you can't really talk about ley lines without talking about plant consciousness, because plants are conscious, quite obviously. So according to Alfred Watkins, he spoke about the fact that there was found inscribed on a Roman altar in North Britain a dedication in Latin, Genio Terra Britannica, which translates to the spirit of the English countryside. So the Green Man image is literally a dedication to that spirit. That is a Curlian photograph of a leaf. Clearly part of the leaf has been cut off, but the soul frequency of the leaf remains. And if people have any, doubts about plant consciousness, there's a program called Fantastic Fungi. Unfortunately, it's on Netflix, but it's brilliant. Talks about
if anybody watching this has doubts about plant consciousness, you're on the wrong channel.
I love it. So I'm going to be showing some images soon that, some people might be a bit confronted by, but the Green Man phenomena is ancient. People have believed in this forever.
I know it
so
is.
If you want to go to the next screen.
Good. We're going to trigger people. Good. I like that. Let's go.
Yeah, fully. Okay, so this is where I talk about pareidolia and apophenia. So apparently it's a tendency to see a pattern where there is none. They call it a nebulous stimuli. There's also people who have synesthesia, where they might, see a color and get a taste in their mouth. What I'm going to show is none of these things. It's not something you can just explain away. We are supposed to be listening to our original peoples. That's quite popular at the moment because they want to get rid of the white people. But you can't do that without recognizing that they are polytheistic. They believe in many different gods. This is not paganism. I am not spruiking for paganism. What I'm talking about is that there are otherworldly entities all around us, and particularly you can connect with them much more profoundly in ley lines and in the crossing point of ley lines or earth energy lines. So if you'd like to go to the next screen.
Well, it's interesting because I'm in the middle of doing a course in shamanism.
Oh, really? Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. Myself and Gary are doing it because it's time for us to be, I've been doing shamanic stuff my whole life without realizing it. And I've decided, it's time for me to actually go on a course and learn this stuff. And, when you said about relaxing the eyes, one of the technologies that's been around for ever is the drum. And if you bang the drum between 4 and 7 beats per second, you're immediately in a theta state, which is when you start seeing all this stuff and you can connect with everything. It's amazing and very simple. But it's amazing.
I did not know that.
It's amazing how many people, when you talk about it, go, "Oh, that's demonic," and it's like, sorry, but it's
is the heartbeat demonic?
Well, exactly. I mean, it's the path of direct revelation, as taught to me recently, and I love that line because this is the same thing.
Yeah. So I mean, this is Christians tell me that the pineal gland is evil. I mean, it just can't. Yes.
Well, they're not.
It's perfect timing to come up with that.
Oh dear.
It's just so maddening. So there's a very interesting connection between the word basilisk and the word basilica. They both have the same root meaning and word in Greek, which means king. So basilius. So if people don't realize that the Vatican is dedicated to the snake, I can't help them. But it's actually, I believe it's a basilisk.
No, I mean, I've been sharing that image for over a decade on various, because it's like once you see it, you go, hang on a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So, people can stop that and read that if they like. But yeah, that's one of my bugbears because I get a lot of harassment from Christians, a lot of Christians. Oh my God.
Oh, me too. But that one at the bottom left there, if you got a close up of that, it's this horrific kind of mural. I don't know how to describe it.
It's completely demonic.
Yeah, totally.
It looks like a genocide. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's the same stuff they put in Denver Airport and stuff like that. It's actually, it's all around us all the time, but you've got to have the eyes to see.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's get away from this one. Go on to the next one. Okay, so here we go.
So glad I brought him up. I've not actually looked at the slideshow, so I brought him up without any preempting.
Oh no, absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So I mean, they did a lot of this. So the two bottom images there are actually from Southwellminster. I think that's how they pronounce it.
Oh, hang on, Southwellminster. That's the one with 2 peaks.
I can't remember what it looks like on the outside. I keep talking about what's on the inside. So they so many depictions of the Green Man in there.
Yeah, I've been there.
To do that.
I've got an old friend that lives there. Yeah. So
okay. Well, that octagonal room. There's an image of 2 wolves basically attacking a hare in that, and that is a symbol of the rituals that would take place in that.
Which one am I looking at for that?
I don't have that in here because it's quite revolting, but I had those 2 other images because the Green Man basically is the representation of Genio Terra Britannica, which was the spirit of the countryside, which is what the Romans dedicated to. The Church came along, Catholic Church came along, took over the Roman ritual site, put the ritual stone that horrible things happened on as the cornerstone of the church. In order to put the church there, a Freemason would have come along and sighted a ley line with a sighting rod because they want us to think we need a special rod to see them. We don't. We just use our eyes. So that they would orient the church into a ley line. So that proves the connection between Freemasonry and Catholicism. It's totally intertwined.
What is a sighting rod?
I've never actually been able to work out what it is. They're so secretive. It's some sort of, I assume it would be a linear object that they would, apparently, according to Alfred Watkins, they used this rod. They would look up at the sun, somehow do some alignment with the sun, and they would line it into a ley line. I think that's all bells and whistles to make people look for some other connection. It's because a sighting rod, it's looking into a ley line. They know how to see them. Freemasons also know that people with heterochromia, central, full, partial or segmented heterochromia, see a wider range of the electromagnetic spectrum. So they really want to initiate people like that into Freemasonry, and I think it's because we find it easier, I have that eye colour, to see ley lines.
Yeah, we talked about in the last interview in depth. I've got a question for you about Freemasonry because it's very interesting in the so-called truther world that there are massive variances in opinion about whether the Freemasons were originally just the keepers of knowledge and were good and got infiltrated, or whether they were always bad. I mean, what's your opinion?
Well, a lot of things get turned back. I mean, the Illuminati sounded like it started with something good and then got inverted. So possibly it was a good thing. I mean, the first few degrees, they test you. It's grooming.
Yeah. No, it's like the whole thing with the initiations and rituals that they do. In my opinion, the download I got years ago was that those rituals that they go through are basically to pull the psychopaths to the top.
Yes,
because that's why you had Tony Blair, 33rd degree Mason, in his 20s, and then became prime minister within 10 years because he's a complete psychopath. And the way they work that out is put you through these rituals that get worse and worse and worse as you go along, which is why I've often met lower level Masons who are thoroughly decent people and have no idea about what's above them.
No, and that's what then they use them to recruit because they're good people. And my father used to say, even bad people need good people to lead them. So they would put all the nice people out there to bring all the people in.
And it's a massive benefit to them to have good people in the organization, because then when you slag them off, you go, well, I know Masons, they're lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's very clever.
So, yeah, I mean, it's so, but whether or not it actually started out as something good, I'm not sure.
Next one.
So, well, I just want to point out, because this is my theory and I'm very proud of it. They say that they don't know why the foliage and the bark comes out of the mouth of the green man in these images. It's pretty bloody obvious. It's called communication. It's the spirit of the countryside communicating with us through the foliage. So I just want to point that out, because it seems really odd to me that people say that they don't know what it means or why it's done. It seems pretty damn clear.
They do communicate. I mean, I've sat with the drum and the plants start dancing. And then the birds start joining in, because you channel songs directly from nature, or from from the spirit world, and then the birds start joining in.
Oh, Mark, I'm so impressed that you're doing that. That is so beautiful and so apt for you. That's going to open up so much.
It's like next step for me, but it's, everybody go. If you're watching this and you want to learn that stuff, go to shamanismisland.com if you want to do it in Ireland. But I'm saying that, and I'm like, they sell out really quick. So anyway,
don't put yourself out of the spot. All right, next screen, please.
Wow! Whoa! Look at that! Oh my God!
Spectacular! Yeah.
Oh so my! Again, look at that!
This is a sacred mountain for a very good reason. So I've interviewed a gentleman called Mark Wilkerson recently. He's got a fantastic theory on petrification, that it can actually happen really rapidly. And so I won't go into his theories, but people want to look up stellium on YouTube, stellium 7, I think it is. Brilliant theory. So this could be a representation of a petrified giant, perhaps, or it's, this. And I don't think it's carved. I think it's a natural formation. So whether or not it's a petrified giant or it's just this spirit of nature wanting to show itself. But this is absolutely sacred. It's in Peru, and it's called the Hybridization face. It's fantastic. There's multiple different angles there. And it is sacred for a reason. And yet, a psychologist would say, oh, it's just a conglomeration of rocks. It's just pareidolia. And it's not. So, yeah, I like to show that one.
I'm sick of all these academically qualified nutters. Have you heard of Mud Fossil University?
Yes, I have, but I can't remember why.
So there's a man called Roger that runs this amazing YouTube channel called Mud Fossil University. I've had him on the show a couple of years ago, and I did an interview with him called "We Live in the Graveyard of Giants," and I think it's a mixture between the two, and it brings up loads of questions about how big this world was. I mean, if you look at there's tree stumps that are all over the world that I became aware of about 10, 15 years ago. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like the Devil's Tower that's in the opening titles to my show is so obviously a tree stump. And just round here down the road, there's a place called the Sleeping Giant, which I actually think is an Egyptian princess, but that's another story. But these faces are all over the world, actually, and this is obviously a particularly good one. And what's your feeling about it? Do you think it is an actual petrified giant, or do you think it's nature being personified?
My feeling is it's nature expressing itself. When you were in Spain, did you go anywhere near Elephant Mountain, Montgo?
No, I didn't go there. I did go to a portal to I made a video about it, but I can't remember what it's
Oh,
called
I
now.
saw that. Yeah, that was fantastic.
All locked down by UNESCO.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, okay. That's an open question. Leave your thoughts in the comments and point us to anything. But I know, can you send me the link to that guy's YouTube
Yeah, I
channel
will.
or
Yeah,
that video? Because
absolutely.
that'd be, I want to dig into that myself. Okay.
Yeah,
I want to go there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that looks very much like I mean, I believe that it is a massive elephant. I would never have believed that before I interviewed him. Once I looked into his stuff, it just blew my mind. So if you want to go to the next screen, please.
Well, actually, before we go there, this is interesting what you say here. That's considered sacred. It's politically incorrect to refuse to acknowledge indigenous belief systems, but when white people talk about the Fae, they're considered mentally unwell.
Yes, because we're not wanted. Oh my gosh.
It's extraordinary. I mean, I live in a country where there's a lot of people that see the Fae.
Oh yeah, of course. The Celts have a lot of heterochromia. The Celts are hybrids. I mean, let's face it. You look back at the giants, the red hair. This is not natural, but the red hair, the Rh negative blood, the central heterochromia. These are all nods to hybridization. That's why they want to get rid of the white people.
This beard was red in my 20s, and one of my daughters is totally red. And I enjoyed telling her, "You come from giants," and she goes, "No, I've had my DNA test done. There was no giants in it."
Oh, yes. She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's fascinating. So we've got was it Matt Gates come out and say that there's 4 different kinds of alien here.
Yeah.
And they're supposedly using 23andMe and Ancestry to find the tall Nordics.
Yeah.
Oh, rubbish. Why would they not be looking for the other 3? Surely be more concerned about the other 3. And I think they're looking for the reptilian hybrids, which I think are the Celts and the Romanese.
Well, I think that's bullshit anyway, because they take your blood when you're a baby.
Exactly.
So they've already got you bagged and tagged. So
yeah. So
okay.
True.
What's this? Shelley Beat.
So now we're going into some of the pareidolik imagery, the nature spirits that have shown themselves to myself and my course members and beautiful people across the world have sent me their images. So on the left is this incredible, I've drawn it on the right to try and highlight what I can see, but I see an Indigenous man's profile with the beard and everything in this rock. I have gone back there so many times and I cannot find this rock again. It appeared, I took the photograph, I don't know where it is now. And this is what happens with nature spirits. They'll show themselves, they bend the light, they create an image, and then they move on. And so the message for me at the time was just keep taking these photographs, because I knew that they'd be important at some point. And this is what I do now. I do a lot of this sort of work. So if you'd like to go to the next image.
Yeah, I did some videos 5 or 6 years ago with a guy called Our Hidden Unseen World, and he had loads of evidence of all of this, and it all ties in. And I see it myself every day, and especially in the clouds. I'm glad these came up next.
Yeah. So this lovely guy, Stephen Cook, sent me some photographs. Same ridge, slightly different, slightly further over from one location. One day it was the lion, I believe within 2 or 3 days, there was what he could see as a sheep as well, or a lamb. The lion is just gobsmacked. I mean, that's just incredible. And this is the sort of stuff I get. I get these beautiful people sending me their pictures, and I ask, can I share them? And they say, yeah, which is so lovely of them, because this belongs to this gentleman who was kind enough to let me share. So it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's perfect. And we actually have the ability to change the shape of clouds with our minds.
Exactly.
I've done it.
Yeah. You've done it. Well done.
Well, the first time I did it was the morning after a 12-hour peyote ceremony.
Okay. Yeah.
I came outside and I was there for hours, just literally changing the shape of the clouds with my mind, and then other people seeing it as well. And I was like, I'm going to change that one to Mickey Mouse. You ready?
Amazing. So there must be something in the plant medicine that allowed you to have a greater connection.
There is, yeah.
Wow. Do you know it takes 30 years for the peyote plant to be big enough for one person?
Doesn't surprise me, and it's very special.
Yeah, it's like.
But be careful of plant medicine, guys, because a lot of the plant medicine shamans themselves have been infiltrated. So don't think, oh, that's a great thing to go and do. And if you look at, I've mentioned this on the channel before, but a lot of people, DMT users, are being locked out of the other realms there was one story that I heard last week about a mantoid punching one of them in the face and saying, "You're not welcome here anymore because you're misusing it." So don't dive onto the ayahuasca circus because it's extremely infiltrated now.
Yeah, I've managed to avoid that. I don't need it.
No, I don't
need any of that stuff. I can see it all without anything. But to each their own.
The path of direct revelation. This is all direct. Yeah. We can do this directly. Okay, that's cool. I love that line. Next.
All right, next one. Okay, so another one of my beautiful course members shared this with me. So this is a depiction of a sylph. So if you look to the bottom center, you can see winged
beautiful.
Fairy. Isn't she beautiful? So Jay Scott shared this with me. Jay's a darling, and I said to him, you sure you want me to share this? Because you could make ethereal, reading cards or something with this image. It's so spectacular. But he was sweet enough to let me share. So this is how it works. He was in a ley line, absolutely magnificent place. He goes there regularly. There are giant butterflies in this location that dance with him. He shared quite a bit about what he sees, and he gifted me this particular image.
I can see a dragon head behind her.
Can you? Can you? Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look more at that. See if I can see it. There were a whole heap of images in this particular ley line. Shortly after he shared these images, the place got shut down. You weren't allowed to go for a walk there anymore. You can't make this stuff up. It's crazy.
That's why they block them all off.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got a little blurb there about, I was used in these horrific rituals as a child, and I didn't understand why they were doing it outside at the time. I remember thinking it was weird because a lot of them were underground, and, the noise is stifled underground. Outside, it's in the open, it's not. And I now understand they do it out in the open because they have to find the natural earth energy lines to do their rituals in. It's much more powerful. They can connect with the entities that they want to call in much more easily out in the open.
But we can do it in reverse.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's why it's so important. Anybody can learn to see a ley line. Anybody.
Excellent.
All right. Next one.
That was slide 17, by the way.
Oh, good grief. Okay. Well, as we go, let me list explanation. So again, these humanoid apparitions. So on the left, it's quite a large. I mean, I was gobsmacked when this was shared with me. It's huge. So that's from Alicia. And on the right, Bella's image, which, obviously one's in daylight, one's in the dark, very similar imagery, just incredible. So if you want to zip through, because we're 47 minutes in and we're only...
No, we're good. I'm trying to see that on the left. I can't quite... Oh, I can see it now. Oh, yeah.
It's really
big.
Big.
Yeah.
It's big. Yeah. And if anybody has trouble seeing this, try looking at it on a phone. The smaller the image, the easier it is to see them, particularly with ley lines as well.
Good tip. And you run a course on doing this, don't you?
Yeah. I teach a
course. And how do people do that? Join that?
So the next one's starting up in November. I've got a lot of people who want to join that one. I'll be doing them all throughout 2027 as well. So they just go to my website, 6thscience.com, and just fill in the contact form. Thanks.
Tell Rachel I sent you.
So this is
Nature Spirit overlooking the pond. Okay.
Yeah. So
spot it.
Sort of towards the right, I've drawn over it that little image on the left between the writing. I've actually drawn over the image.
Oh yeah. I love it when you see it.
Yeah. When I saw, I wish I'd taken footage, because as it was moving, it was mouthing at me, communicating. I couldn't hear it. I'm not clairaudient. I shut that down when I was a child because I didn't want to be a go-between anymore in the rituals. But it was just amazing, just one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And that wasn't the first time that it happened to me. I had a similar profound experience where a nature spirit was mouthing at me again. I couldn't hear it. And the dog that I was with at the time pointed this beautiful big face and this red gum that was communicating with me. And eventually when the communication was ended, she turned around, she was laughing. How dogs, our station had this big laughing face on her, laughing at me. And then she's like, all right, time to go. She started walking off. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll stop staring at this tree now. This is amazing. No drugs, no alcohol. I was completely straight. It was amazing. So that was back in 2000. So I've been having these, profound experiences.
I never understand. I never understand the drugs and alcohol thing. If I say, "Oh, I saw UFOs all the time," oh, we get drunk. I've never once imagined anything when I'm drunk or
It shuts it
hallucinated.
down. It
I
shuts
know,
it down. Yeah.
idiots. Anyway, next.
Yeah. Next. So see if you can see that one. There's actually a portal.
Oh yeah, straight away. Yeah.
Image.
Oh, I can see the
Yep.
portal.
You can. Yes. Well done, Mark.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah, it's there.
I was so excited about this because I thought it's going to be so amazing showing you this. All right, so if you go to the next screen, I've actually marked it out, but it's
And I got it right. I got it right.
Mark, you can see portals and ley lines. You can see it.
Yeah, well.
I knew you would. I knew you would. All right, so and that's a really profound location for me, Belair, for various reasons. But that grandfather tree is just, I mean, that face is so clear. That's how the tree has grown. And in 90% of these apparitions, and I've got thousands of these photographs of these ley lines, where the apparitions appear, they are looking into the portal or into the ley line because they're trying to show us how important they are. And this is why this makes me so happy to share this information, because I know that nature is communicating with me, with my course members, all the beautiful people across the world that share these images with me, so that we will know how important they are.
These two trees make me think of the two pillars in Masonic buildings. Well, they've got names, haven't they? Those two pillars.
Yes, apparently so.
I can't remember. And the portals between them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the little, yeah. They take it.
How many slides are on this slideshow?
There's a
How many slides are on this slideshow?
I think I had 52 or something.
Okay, so we're gonna do this show in 2 parts.
Okay.
Right?
Beautiful.
So in 9 minutes we're gonna wrap this up, and then we'll carry on recording, but we'll do it in 2 parts. Okay.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. So this was shared with me by.
I can see that. I can see it. I can see it. Sorry.
It's a beautiful one. So if you want to go to the next one, you can see the marking, so people can see where it's been marked. And again, I just want to remind people that no one's going along with a brush cutter. Thank you. Beautiful. Oh, perfect. Going backwards and forwards makes it so clear. No one's going along and marking these out.
Yeah,
this is nature saying, I'm not going to grow in this ley line or earth energy line, because I don't think that. And look, where you see the trees actually growing in them, they are so misshapen and uncomfortable. They're usually very twisted because they actually twist with the vortex. This is a fantastic example. This next one, also from Mark, and this he calls this Fairy Mountain, which is so lovely.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Oh,
where you get these roads.
Oh my God.
Isn't that a spectacular example? I mean, you just can't miss that one. It's so clear. And again, it's refraction. So Alfred Watkins was saying in his book, the correlation between the word grove and the light refraction, grove meaning trees, but it also means light refraction. So it's really fascinating. It's like these paths are just, this is nature showing us what's important in the world, what we need to know. So the next images are from Sweden, I believe, from Ave, another beautiful friend. And this is a great example because it's meandering. It just keeps going. And she's shown me multiple images along the way where you can see all the circles. So what's really interesting is you can actually see, it's easier to see the ley lines or the earth energy lines when they're going through trees and things, because you can see where the trees are avoiding them. You can see them over grass. And so again, when we share the FryBrook estate photographs, they're more over grass. So they're much more subtle, but they're still quite clear.
Mm-hmm. I see that straight away.
Excellent.
Oh, no, I can see more than one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying this, kids at home.
Once you can see them, as Dale Holmes said to me, once you take the hidden and you can see it, people know then it's, it's not a secret anymore. Oh, this is one of my absolute favorites. This is from Jim. I can see that. And that dingo showed that
got it immediately.
Yeah.
That's a dingo. Yeah. Have I ever seen a dingo?
It's a dingo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets even better. He put a log in the fire that night. He was camping, and he said that where she sent me a photograph. The log actually burnt to the shape of a dingo's head also. So he was having this full-on spiritual experience. This is a great example of, you can see them over water.
Yeah, yeah.
And see them on sand. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people often ask me, can you see them over water? So this is such a fantastic example. And I was so thankful when when Vanessa found this and shared this. And again, my heart goes out to every single one of these individuals who lets me share their images, because it's just spectacular. Holly's image, that is
Sorry,
just
I'm still playing with this one.
mind-blowing.
Pressing the wrong button.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And interesting, in the water one, there is a face. Can you see the face?
I can.
Because quite often, they'll be right smack in the middle of the circle.
So funny, because are we going to talk about portals, spotting portals as well as ley lines?
Yes.
Good, because I was trying to show somebody a portal this morning.
Ah, cool. Okay. My suggestion is, if you can get into the center of the portal with energetic protection and take a series of photographs or footage and go and be a pivot point and take footage around and see how many different ley lines that you can see going into the portal, and that just proves to you it is a portal. Then you know for certain you've got visible proof. So Holly's image, I mean, how can you not see the circles there?
Yeah.
I've only marked a few of them because there's so many. It just ended up
there's lots of them.
I tried to mark them all. Yeah, that's one of my absolute. That one's on my website because it's just so amazing. And Holly was prolific. She just found so many. she shared so much. It was amazing. And the next one's a good example of, suburban leys. You can see them. I mean, there's a ley line going through. Every house has some ley lines going through it. So this is Mark's. And crepuscular light, when you've got dawn and dusk light, that will also highlight.
I can see a face.
Can you?
Big face, yeah. The bottom half, the eyes are in the plants just above the little path there. Oh,
fantastic.
Very similar to kind of ayahuasca faces, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the same spot.
I'm gonna have to look for that. And this is the thing. Quite often people will say, I can see this. And it's like, oh, jeepers, I can't even see. I'm the one who's supposed to be teaching the course. We all see things differently.
We do. Do you know what? Yeah. I'm going to call it end of part 1.
Okay.
Because this is great. So you guys watching, look out for part 2. It'll be up soon. Rachel, this is brilliant. We're going to end now and we'll come back and record part 2.
Cool.
Absolutely brilliant. See you in a second.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all the stuff I never normally say because I'm a rubbish YouTuber. But do that, and always check links in the description under the video, because people say, where do I find the links? In the description. What else am I supposed to say? Oh, yeah, question everything, including everything you're hearing here. Do your own research. God bless you. See you soon. I'm going to send you another link.